Welcome to the Wise Words of Motivation channel. We present to you today a very important topic entitled, Always Say No to These 9 People. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to drain your energy while others raise it? Why some interactions leave us exhausted, frustrated or discouraged, and most importantly how we can navigate this sea of diverse personalities while maintaining our inner peace and integrity. Stoicism, an ancient but always relevant philosophy, offers us powerful tools to deal with these challenges. As the great Epictetus said, "Not the things, the actions of others, we have complete control over our reactions." Today, we will provoke 9 types of people who, according to Stoic principles, we should learn to identify and in many cases avoid. But pay attention, the goal here is not to judge or isolate ourselves from the world. On the contrary, we want to develop wisdom to navigate better in our relationships while maintaining serenity and promoting our personal growth. Reminds us Marcus Aurelius in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind and not over external events. Realize this and you will find strength." With this wisdom in mind, we will embark on a journey of self-discovery and growth. Get ready for a deep exploration of the complexities of human relations through the lenses of 1,000. Let's start with the first kind of negative people. The first kind of people who we should be wary of them are the permanent pessimists, those who seem to have a special talent to see the dark side of every situation. Maybe you've met someone like this before. Maybe it's that coworker who turns every challenge into an imminent disaster, or that friend who always has the expectation of the end of the world. So Seneca, one of the great teachers of Stoicism, an accurate reflection of his real danger to negative people lies in the impact that they can have on our own perspective. Being social beings, we are prone to emotional contagion. Spending too much time with pessimists can make us unconsciously adopt their gloomy worldview. But how can we protect ourselves from this contagious negativity? Marcus Aurelius offers us a strategy that very soon you will forget everything. Very soon everything will be forgotten. This reminder of impermanence can help us not to take passivity when interacting with them is something that is not. Therefore, when faced with negativity, consciously choose to maintain a balanced perspective. Recognize the challenges, but also look for opportunities. Keep your inner peace as a shield against external pessimism. Remember, choosing how to interpret the world is for you. Do not allow the negativity of others to obscure your vision of the beauty and possibilities that life offers. Type 2 successive people. The people to avoid are manipulators, masters of the art of distorting reality to achieve their goals. These individuals are especially dangerous because his tactics can be subtle and difficult to detect at first. Imagine a friend who always makes you feel guilty when you do not fulfill his requests, or a partner who uses silence as a weapon to get what he wants. These are classic forms of emotional manipulation that can undermine your confidence and independence. Seneca warns us about for us. The influence of manipulators goes beyond the immediate moment. Over time they can distort our perception of reality, which makes us question our own judgment and values. As Epictetus wisely noted, no free man if he is not the master himself. This wisdom is especially relevant when dealing with manipulators. But how can we protect ourselves from these hidden influences? Marcus Aurelius offers us a strategy that you have power over your mind, not over external events. Ask about the intentions behind the words and actions of others. Stick to your values and don't be afraid to set clear boundaries. Reminiscent of Epictetus, tell yourself first. Remember, giving in to manipulation may bring temporary relief, but its resistance strengthens your personality in the long run. Stay true to yourself and you will become immune to the tactics of manipulators. Type 3 self-centered people. Type 3 are self-centered people, those who seem to think that the world revolves exclusively around them. You can easily recognize them. They are the ones who control every conversation. Something about themselves, or those who expect everyone to adapt to their needs and their whims. Marcus Aurelius gives us a valuable perspective on egocentrism. How much more harmful are the consequences of anger and sadness than those things because of which we get angry and sad? This thinking reminds us that our reaction to the self-centered behavior of others can be more terrible than the behavior itself. Many times the impact of dealing with egocentric people can be stressful. They create. Remember that you are an actor in a play of the kind that the author wants it to be, if it is. This metaphor reminds us that everyone has their own role to play and we must allow self-centeredness of others to forget our own importance. But how can we deal effectively with self-centered people? Seneca suggests most of the difficulties come from our intention. This interview invites us to examine our own behavior and make sure that we do not fall into the same trap. Clear boundaries and look for interactions that fuel the exchange. Marcus Aurelius reminds us all that we hear is opinion and not truth, all that we see is perspective and not truth. This thinking invites us to consider other people's points of view but also not to let it control us. Remember, healthy relationships are a two-way street where both parties are valued equally. Do not allow self-centeredness of others to underestimate your value and spreading malicious rumors or a family member always. This thought reminds us that when we react with anger or frustration to the toxicity of others, we often end up hurting ourselves more than the toxic person. The impact of these toxic people in our lives can be profound, and always understand constant sources of stress and anxiety, which undermines our confidence and inner peace, as noted by Epictetus in The Wisdom of People who. This perspective reminds us that even though we can't control toxic behavior, we can't control it. For others we can control our reaction to it. Marcus Aurelius offers us a strategy to deal with toxicity. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Instead of reacting to the toxic with more sublimity, we can choose to maintain our integrity and calm. The practical approach is to develop what the Stoics call virtuous. This does not mean ignoring toxic behavior but not allowing it to disturb our inner peace. Practice conscious breathing. When you feel provoked, stick to your values and do not engage in unnecessary conflicts. When faced with toxicity, choose to respond calmly and sympathetically. Remember, your calm is more important than that. Don't be afraid to stay away from chronically toxic relationships. As they advised Seneca, associate with people who will make you better. Prioritize relationships that nourish your growth and well-being. Type 5 Dishonest people. Type 5 are dishonest people, those who have a complex relationship with the truth, may be chronic liars making up complicated stories, or subtle manipulators distorting facts for their own benefit. Marcus Aurelius. If it's not true, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. This wisdom works not only as a guide to your behavior, but also as a standard. In addition, constantly dealing with dishonest people can make us skeptical and insecure, which negatively affects interactions with others. Reminds us of Epictetus. It is impossible for someone to start learning what he thinks he already knows. This thinking warns us of the danger of blindly believing in other people's words, especially when we have reasons to doubt their sincerity. But how can we effectively deal with honesty? Seneca suggests truth never perishes, lying always encourages us. This perspective on be patient and trust that over time the truth always appears. When dealing with dishonest people, the Stoic approach suggests staying true to the truth regardless of the actions of others. Practice fact-checking and trust your intuition. When something seems suspicious, set clear boundaries and communicate. The importance of honesty in your relationships. Marcus Aurelius advises us live a good life if there is a God, and that our integrity is more important than any temporary gain that dishonesty may provide. Remember that your integrity is one of your most precious assets. Do not allow others' insincerity to affect it. Stick to your principles and be a beacon of truth in a world that is often ambiguous. Type 6 Irresponsible people. Type 6 are irresponsible people, those who seem to live in a world without consequences. They are the ones who constantly break promises and arrive late without apology, or make rash decisions without considering their impact on others. Epictetus gives us a strong perspective on responsibility and not relying on others to fulfill their obligations. Dealing with people other than. As Seneca wisely noted, how much time we will waste yet on the follies of others when we have very little of ourselves. Marcus Aurelius offers us a strategy to deal with the irresponsibility of others. You have power over your mind and not over external events. Realize and you will find the strength. This perspective reminds us that although we cannot control the irresponsible actions of controlling our reaction to it when dealing with people other than. Responsible Stoic approach suggests setting clear expectations and strict limits. Communicate the consequences of their actions in a calm and direct way. Advises us Epictetus. Don't explain your philosophy. Her body. Be a model of responsibility in your own actions instead of just preaching about it. Practice emotional detachment. Don't take responsibility for other people's mistakes. Seneca reminds us the man who did the best. You can choose how to respond to it. Marcus Aurelius warns you can compromise on your knife because of the impression that you are being hurt. No. Keep your inner peace regardless of the irresponsibility around you. Focus your energy on being a model of responsibility instead of trying to change others. As Epictetus taught, do not strive for events to happen as you want, but rather to happen as they happen, and your life path will be calm. Type 7 Pessimistic people. Type 7 are chronic pessimists, those who seem to have a special talent to see the worst in every situation. Unlike negative people, Simply pessimists have a basic gloomy worldview and often try to imposing this perspective on others. Seneca gives us a powerful perspective on the pessimism we. The danger of pessimists lies in their ability to undermine our motivation and enthusiasm. They can discourage our dreams, highlight the shortcomings of our plans and make us doubt our own abilities. As Marcus Aurelius noted, you have power over your own mind, not over external events. Realize this and you will find the strength. This wisdom reminds us that we can choose not to absorb the pessimism of others. Advises us Epictetus the same things that bother us, but our opinions about it. When faced with pessimistic expectations, gently ask, is it really as bad as it sounds? What can we do to improve the situation? To deal with pessimists, practice what the Stoics used to call positive expectation. Visualize positive results and focus your energy on constructive actions. Reminiscent of Seneca, sign the best, get ready for the worst and accept what comes. This balanced approach allows us to maintain optimism without ignoring potential challenges. Marcus Aurelius offers us a useful perspective facing pessimism from others. Remember, realistic optimism is not naivety. It's a conscious choice to focus on positive potential even in the face of challenges. As Epictetus said, it's impossible for a person to start learning what he thinks he already knows. Stay open to possibilities and don't let other people's sharing limit your vision of what is possible. Type 8 controlling people. Type 8 are controlling people, those who feel the constant need to dictate how things should be. About control, some things are under our control, and some things are not. Under our control is the opinion-seeking desire, aversion, and in one word, everything that is our own doing. Things that are not under our control are the body, property, reputation, leadership, and in one word, everything that is not our own doing. This discrimination is the key when dealing with controlling people. The influence of controlling people on our lives can be suffocating, limiting our freedom, undermining our confidence. And this rule reminds us that although we cannot control the behavior of most of the difficulties come from not applying our principles to everyday things. When dealing with controlling people, it is necessary to stay true to our own principles and values. A useful technique is to practice selective indifference. Consciously choose the opinions and directions that you will take from others and which you will gently ignore. Reminds us Epictetus, if someone puts you in a responsible position, keep calm and assertive. Practice clear communication of your boundaries and needs. Marcus Aurelius encourages us not. Remember, you are the captain of your own ship. Do not hand over the helm to someone else. As noted wisely by Epictetus, no man can be free if he is not his own master. Maintain your independence. Do not allow others' controlling behavior to reduce your sense of freedom and self-determination. Type 9 envious people. Type 9 and the last are envious people, those who seem unable to sincerely celebrate with sarcastic comments about your good luck or a relative, constantly competing for attention and recognition. Offers us Seneca has a strong perspective on envy. Every envy is about what to understand. The envious person sees the happiness of others as a reminder that envy is often a reflection of the envious person's inner dissatisfaction and not a comment on our own achievements. The danger of envy lies in its ability to poison relationships and create an environment of distrust and negative competition. As Marcus Aurelius, by comparing others, Titus advises us that it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it, that is important. When faced with envy, choose to respond with empathy and understanding, recognizing that envy often comes from a place of insecurity or fear. To deal with envious people, practice gratitude and empathy. Admit your own blessings without showing off. Reminds us Seneca, part of healing is the desire to heal. This perspective encourages us to see the envy of others as opportunities to practice empathy and understanding. Marcus Aurelius, envious and bad-tempered secretaries are like that because of their ignorance of what is good and bad. This expectation can help us keep calm. When faced with envy, remember success and true happiness do not depend on the approval of others or their professionalism. As noted by the wisdom of Epictetus, true happiness is to enjoy the present without dependence. Worry about the future. Focus your energy on your achievements and your own growth, and do not allow the envy of others to diminish your joy or your sense of achievement. We have reached the end of our journey, in which we explore the 9 types of people who, according to Stoic philosophy, we must learn to recognize and often avoid in our lives. Let's briefly review. 1 negative people, 2 manipulators, 3 selfish people, 4 toxic people, 5 Dishonest people 6. Eat irresponsible people 7. Pessimistic people 8. Controlling people 9. Envious people. Remember, the goal of this meditation is not to judge others or completely isolate, but to develop wisdom to better navigate our personal relationships. As Actus wisely said, it is not the things in themselves that bother us but our opinions about them. Marcus Aurelius gives us a valuable perspective to end. When you wake up in the morning, meditations focus on what is really important, regardless of the challenges that may. When getting to know these types of people in our lives, we can take proactive steps to protect our inner peace and promote our personal growth. Seneca advises us to be in a relationship with people who make you better. Actively search for relationships that inspire you and support your growth. Remember, the Stoic philosophy teaches us that true happiness comes from within, as Epictetus said. Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding. Now I would like to hear your experiences. Have you encountered one of these types of people in your life? How you dealt with the situation? Share in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content on how to apply Stoic wisdom in our modern life. In the next video we will explore practical techniques for cultivating inner calm in a chaotic world. Until then, stay firm on your principles and remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. We hope that you have benefited from what we have provided. Thank you.